Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you are watching, you are in for a special treat. My name is Professor TK the Chemist, and today we're going to get into scientific reasoning for the TEAS 7 exam. How to solve scientific reasoning problems the easy way. Let's get into it. I am so excited to guide you all through this journey, starting with one of the most fundamental concepts, the scientific method. This is a key topic not just for the exam, but also for understanding how science works in the real world. From healthcare breakthroughs to everyday problem solving, the scientific method is everywhere. Now, think about this for a moment. Have you ever wondered how new medications are tested or why specific treatment plans work better than others? You know what? It all starts with the scientific method, a step-by-step process that helps us find answers to questions in a systematic way. So today, I'm going to break down each step and see how it's really applied to real-world concepts and scenarios. Like test a new hand sanitizer, for instance. Y'all know it's flu season, right? So by the end of today's lesson, you'll not only be able to understand the steps of the scientific method, but you'll also be able to identify key variables and recognize its importance in healthcare experiments. This is critical for the TEAS exam, and we'll also practice with TEAS-style questions to prepare you for success. Are you ready? All right, let's go ahead and dive in because we're going to start with a quick overview of the scientific method and why it matters. So grab your pens, your notebooks, because we're about to become experts in the process that drives all of science. Let's get into it. So here are your objectives. We're going to understand the steps of the scientific method, which starts off with observations, form a hypothesis, experiment, analyze, and then conclude. So you're then going to also differentiate between independent, dependent, and control variables, and you'll be able to recognize the importance of application and peer review, and you'll be able to also apply the scientific method to real-world scenarios. So, what is the scientific method? The scientific method is a systematic process for investigating natural phenomena, acquiring new knowledge, or correlating previous knowledge. Some of your key components include observation, hypothesis, experiment, analysis, conclusions, and visual flowchart of the steps. Step 1, observation. In order to observe, you're going to carefully gather information about a phenomena using your senses or tools. So some examples include observing that patients who exercise have lower blood pressure. Step number 2, hypothesis. This is a testable prediction that explains the observation. So here are the characteristics of a good hypothesis. It's testable, based on prior knowledge, includes if-then structures. So for instance, if exercise reduces stress, then people who exercise daily will have lower stress levels. Another example, if plants receive more sunlight, then they will grow faster. Step 3, experiment. This is a procedure to test the hypothesis. So some of your components of the experiment includes an independent variable, the factor you change, such as the amount of sunlight, for instance. The dependent variable is the factor that you measure, such as plant growth. And the control variable are factors you keep consistent, such as the type of plant and the water amount. Step 4, analysis. You want to be able to examine data from the experiment to determine trends or patterns. So some examples of data representation include graphs, tables, and charts. Here's a quick tip. The correlation does not imply causation. And step 5, conclusion. This is where you summarize your findings and determine if the hypothesis was supported or rejected. So here are some examples. Your hypothesis could be something like, if a person sleeps 8 hours a night, then they will perform better on tests. The data would show test scores improved with 8 hours of sleep. You could conclude that the hypothesis was supported. Why replication and peer review matters? Well, what is replication? Replication means you're repeating experiments to confirm your results. The peer review ensures validity through evaluation by other scientists. And then an example is drug trials require multiple rounds of testing before they are approved. Real world applications in healthcare. Here's some examples. Testing the effectiveness of a new medication, analyzing patient data to identify trends. So perhaps you can, think about some health case scenarios and identify the steps of the scientific method involved. So what you could do on the side is go, do some research on your own, and look at all the things that are happening right now under our current healthcare state. I want you to be able to identify some of the steps that the scientific method may involve in that. So now it's quiz time. Question number 1. This is an observation question. Which of the following is an example of observation? Is it A, measuring a patient's temperature, B, predicting that a fever will subside, C, testing a hypothesis about hydration, or D, writing a conclusion about patient recovery? Now you may pause the video after every question to answer it, and then the next prompt will be to see the answer. The correct answer is A, measuring a patient's temperature. The reason is because your observations involves gathering data. Now the reason why B is incorrect is because predicting is hypothesis making. Letter C is incorrect because testing is experimentation, and letter D is incorrect because writing a conclusion is the final step. Question number 2. This is a hypothesis question. Which of the following is a testable hypothesis? A, cats are the best pets. B, if plants are watered daily, they will grow taller. C, the sky is beautiful during sunsets. Or D, all dogs love peanut butter. The correct answer is B. If plants are watered daily, they will grow taller. The reason is because it's testable and measurable. A and C are opinions, where D lacks specific conditions. Question number 3. It's an experiment question. Which of the following best describes a dependent variable? A, the variable that is changed. B, the variable that is measured. C, the variable that stays the same. Or D, the variable used as a control. The correct answer is B, the variable that is measured. The dependent variable is the outcome measured. Letter A, the variable that is changed, that's an independent variable. Letter C, that says the variable that stays the same, that's a constant. And letter D, the variable used as a control, that's a control group. Question number 4, analysis and conclusion. Which of the following is true during the analysis phase of the scientific method? Is it A, data is collected, B, the hypothesis is rejected or accepted, C, data is examined for trends or patterns, or D, experiments are repeated? The correct answer is C, data is examined for trends or patterns. And the reason why this is correct is because analysis focuses on data interpretation. The reason why letter A is wrong, where it says data is collected, is because A is part of the experimentation. B is also incorrect because it is the conclusion. And D is incorrect because it is replication. And finally, our last question is an observation question. Which of the following is the best example of qualitative observations? A, the temperature of the water is 85 degrees Celsius. B, the water is clear and odorless. C, the mass of the container is 500 grams. Or D, the pH of the solution is 7.5. The correct answer is B, the water is clear and odorless. This is correct because qualitative observations describe characteristics that cannot be measured numerically. A, C, and D are quantitative observations as they involve numerical data. So I hope that this brief series of the TEAS exam questions have been useful for you guys on scientific reasoning. Stay tuned because we're going to go a little deeper on each part of the TEAS exam that you need to be able to do well on for scientific reasoning. Have a good one, and don't forget to share, subscribe, and like this video. Take care.